All right, today we're diving into Robert Greene's The Art of Seduction. And let's get one thing straight. This isn't about cheesy pickup lines or dating advice. Greene's whole point is that seduction is actually a super sophisticated form of power. It's a strategic game of psychological influence that, believe it or not, has shaped history way more than brute force ever could. So let's break down how it all works.
Greene basically kicks things off with this one fundamental question. What is the most powerful way to get what you want? I mean, really, is it by making demands, through aggression, or just straight up force? Or is there another way? A more elegant, more effective, and, a more lasting method?
And this is where you really see the core of the book's argument. On one side, you've got brute force. It's clunky, it's obvious, and it immediately makes people put up a wall. Any compliance you get is going to be temporary, for sure. But then you have seduction. It's subtle, it works on the mind, and it completely bypasses that resistance. Better yet, it actually creates desire. Your target wants to go along with you, and they end up thinking it was their own idea all along. And that is what makes it an infinitely more powerful and lasting kind of influence.
If you look back through history, this art form was often perfected by people who were denied direct power. Just think of someone like Cleopatra. She was operating in a world of Roman generals and emperors. She couldn't win with armies. So what did she do? She mastered a totally different kind of weapon, one that targeted the minds and the deep-seated desires of the most powerful men on the planet. And this quote from the poet Ovid, who was a huge inspiration for Greene, just completely reframes the entire concept. It suggests that this art requires more genius than commanding armies. See, it's not about being the strongest. It's a strategic game. The goal isn't to conquer someone, but to make them willingly surrender to you through this carefully orchestrated dance of pleasure and desire. So how does this actually work in practice? Well, Greene's framework isn't just a simple list of tactics or a to-do list. It actually starts with identity. He argues that to become a master of this art, you first need to adopt a specific persona. He lays out 9 of these fundamental archetypes, these roles that are basically designed to create this powerful, irresistible allure.
So here they are, Greene's 9 distinct, seductive characters. Each one taps into a really fundamental human fantasy. Now, to understand the logic behind all of them, we're going to zoom in on 2 of the most classic and powerful archetypes, the siren and the rake. Seriously, once you understand these 2, you'll start to see the pattern behind all the others.
Okay, first up, the siren. The name itself just conjures up those ancient myths of sailors being lured to their doom, right? And that's exactly the point. The siren is the embodiment of the ultimate fantasy, promising a complete and total escape from the burdens and boredom of everyday life. The psychology here is absolutely key. Greene's point is that the siren operates on a really simple premise. A lot of men feel secretly burdened by the roles they have to play in life. Being responsible, being logical, always being in control. The siren offers a complete release from all of that pressure. She basically represents pure, guilt-free pleasure in a world where there are no rules. And you really can't talk about the siren without this quote from the Odyssey, which Greene references. It's the perfect illustration. Notice how the sirens don't command Odysseus to stop. They invite him. They offer him something that almost no man can resist, the sweet melody of pure pleasure and escape. It's this irresistible pull on the subconscious. So how does she actually do it? Well, using historical figures like Cleopatra and Marilyn Monroe, Greene shows it's not really about conventional beauty. It's about a theatrical presence, turning her entire life into a spectacle. It's about an air of transgression, offering this forbidden pleasure without any of the guilt. It's about a voice and a manner that are just intoxicating. And this is critical. It's about a hint of danger. The siren can never be fully possessed, which keeps her target in this state of constant obsessive pursuit. So when you boil it all down, the process is pretty clear. First, the siren builds this larger-than-life, almost mythical image around herself. Second, she offers an escape into a world of pure pleasure, far, far away from the responsibilities of normal life. And third, she always remains just slightly out of reach, hinting at danger, which only makes the obsession deeper. It's an incredibly powerful psychological trap.
Okay, now let's switch gears and look at the siren's male counterpart, the rake. If the siren's allure is visual and kind of passive, the rake's is the total opposite. He's all about action and words. He is an absolute master of audacious language.
And this quote, man, this gets right to the heart of the rake's power.
His number one weapon isn't his looks, it's his tongue. According to Greene, the rake understands this incredibly deep-seated desire we all have, to be truly listened to be understood, and to be adored with an intensity that borders on worship.
The rake's appeal is all about how different he is from the ordinary, sensible guy. I mean, the average man is often kind of timid, right? He's respectful of boundaries, he's polite. The rake is the exact opposite. He's bold, he is unrestrained, and he makes it seem like he is a complete slave to his passion for a woman. He offers a thrilling escape from predictability.
His tools are actually pretty simple, but they are devastatingly effective. He uses these extravagant, over-the-top, flattering words that make a woman feel like she's the most fascinating creature on earth. He'll fix her with this intense, unwavering gaze that just screams obsession. And a lot of the time, his reputation precedes him. The very fact that so many other women have fallen for him just adds to his allure. He represents the absolute thrill of risk.
So, the siren and the rake are just 2 of the 9 character types Greene lays out. But here's the thing. Adopting a persona, that's just the who. Greene then spends the rest of the book outlining the how, a super detailed multi-stage process that these characters use to pull off a full seduction. This is the playbook.
This whole thing unfolds over 4 very distinct phases. It's a strategic progression. Phase 1 is all about getting noticed and sparking some interest. Phase 2 is about leading them into this world of pleasure and confusion. By Phase 3, you're using much bolder moves to deepen that emotional attachment. And Phase 4, well, that's the final move. We can't cover all 24 tactics Greene talks about, but you can see the overall logic, right? It's a long game. It's a pattern you see everywhere, from how advertising creates desire for a product to how political campaigns build a charismatic following.
Ultimately, Greene's book isn't really about romance. It's a lens for understanding how power works. He argues that seduction, this whole dance of psychology and desire, is a fundamental part of how humans interact. So the final question he leaves us with is this. Once you start recognizing these patterns, this game of creating desire, bypassing resistance, and playing on fantasy, where else do you start to see it at work? As Greene suggests, the answer is absolutely everywhere.